All right, I'm back again for the 2002 Isuzu Trooper with the 3.5 V6 and the 4L30E transmission. Ended up replacing the alternator, and all the drivability issues are now fixed. But just a little history on it. When we took it into a local parts store in town. They did an alternator diode check, alternator check on the vehicle, and everything passed. Well, obviously there were some issues with it. So if I go into engine control module, the 3.5 V6, I'm going to pull up my live data here. So I want to show you engine data. Because remember from the last video, or part one, it showed the vehicle was moving when it wasn't moving. So if you go to vehicle speed, I'm going to graph that. It shows 0, which is in the center, 0 miles per hour right now. So while you're watching that, I'm going to start it. So it's still showing 0 miles per hour. I'm going to go through the gears like I did before, and it should not change. And why is it not changing now? Because it's got a new alternator in there, and the AC ripple is not bleeding through like it did on the other alternator. So if I go back to my oscilloscope, I got my leads again hooked up to battery negative, and the positive lead to the positive pulse coming off the alternator. I hit start here. I'm on a 1 millisecond division time frame. A little different divisions than I was last time, but it's the same readings. So if I stop it here, rewind, I'm not worried about these high peaks and these low peaks. I'm worried about them eating potatoes here. Let's just pick this wave over here. And roughly I got 200 millivolts. Check a little bit of go ahead, you know. Actually, let's check it here. Do that again here. Let's check the top there. Bottom there, 173 millivolts, difference between that and that. It's not 300 millivolts like it was before on the other video of part one, and also on part one, which we didn't capture in the video, it had like sometimes 1 to 2 volts. So the AC ripple is within its specs of, you know, maximum 300 millivolts, or half of that, or a little bit more than half of that. So now I'm going to shut the vehicle off. You can still watch the miles per hour because I want to talk about something else. So obviously the alternator fixed it, but the check inside the vehicle, or when the alternator was in the vehicle, didn't capture the alternator. And then even when we took the alternator into the shop, this data here shows that, well, there's the ripple volts here shows low is 0, actual 0, and the high is 2. Well, the high it shouldn't be more than 0.3. It didn't get 2, but that's where they say it would fail at. This one says 0. It says it failed. I don't know why they said it failed at 0 volts, but it did. But all these other tests they did, the actual they got 0.3, they considered it passed. 0.3 they got for another test, they considered it passed. 0.3 they considered it passed. 0.28 they considered it passed. Well, obviously it didn't pass. We proved it with the oscilloscope and the miles per hour when the vehicle was standing still. The new alternator fixed all the drivability issues, and everything works great. No more stalling or dying when you put it in gears or when you're driving it, and no more surging as well.